Hey guys, Psy here, and your eyes are not deceiving you. This match is going to be up against Drewbie, the Terran that I have a grudge against. His record is 115-40 with a rating of 1175. Extremely strong player, so here we go. Hey everyone, this is going to be on Scrap Station, and it is Psy in the right against Drewbie in the top as the red Terran. I said I have a grudge against him, but if you guys aren't familiar with our history, I've played 2 games against him. I went 2-0 against him. In one game I noticed him, and in one game I did a quick roach rush. And in both games he was like, "Oh, all in cheese, you noob, blah blah blah." So I talked shit to him, and yeah, it's a grudge that only I know about because apparently we're on fine terms right now. But that's how I'd like it to be. I just figured I'd show you guys a game against Drewbie because it's fun. So, Scrap Station, as I said already. Terran opponents, so hard. If he goes mech, I'm gonna be in trouble. Overlord scouting. Yeah. I need to start finding better ways to fill in the beginning of my commentaries. 9 Overlord, 2 more drones coming out, a third about to come. And he's actually choosing to put that supply depot behind his minerals. Either because he wants to have a baneling proof wall, or he doesn't really expect any type of baneling play on Scrap Station because it is a long travel distance map. And we are seeing my 14 pool, or 14 gas. I'm trying to learn some different builds other than the 14 gas or the 15 expand or 14 expand. You know, I want to learn a lot of roach play because I think early roach play would be very effective against Terrans who are preparing to go that mech. So I need to start doing some research, watching some replays, and learning how to do that kind of stuff. Now putting some drones on the geyser. And Drewbie, man, 115-40. This guy is insane. I mean, when I played him, he was a pretty good Terran. I thought he was mediocre, but he's won the last 2 Go-To coaching tournaments, and he is just a baller now. He is incredible, and this is going to be a fun game against him. When I saw him, I was just like smiling to myself. It's like, oh man, I just read a post on Reddit about how I called him a fag like a while back. I don't use that word in commentaries anymore though, so don't get mad at me for saying it just now. I'm just telling you what happened. So yeah, okay, well, he's not going to get a baneling proof wall. I guess he just figured he had plenty of time. So the second supply depot is going at the front, going to be completing his wall off, I assume, with the factory around there. Shooting my Overlord off with that Marine. Always nice to have an Overlord around here, just so you can see if there's anything out of the ordinary going on. I checked out his barracks, which is what I wanted to do, just to make sure there wasn't any kind of tech lab or crazy builds going on. His SCV now scouting my expansion. Very normal, just to make sure I don't have any fast expansion or something like that. Pulling off the gas after the initial 100. And the thing I question about this kind of build now against Terran, just because I've had such a problem with mech lately, is pulling off the gas. It kind of eliminates a lot of early roach play. So, you know, I'm just now putting them on. I'm not getting a roach warren at all. And I feel like if you let hellions get the best of you, then you're going to be in deep shit. And that's what has been happening to me a lot lately, is, you know, they'll come in either with early 2 or 4 hellions without the igniter, or they'll save up for about 8 hellions with the igniter, and it is just a mess. You can't quite get mutas fast enough. Spines just don't cover enough area or do enough damage. You pretty much just have to have the roaches on that creep. But I've got a little contain here going on with my Zerglings. I do see that reactor with that, or that factory with that reactor. Gonna stab away at his supply depot for a little bit. Here come the Marines. I mean, it's so silly, like, how a race can do this. Like, I'm not gonna get any units. I'm just gonna make this big barrier, and you can't do anything. He's got 2 units, and it's like, what other race can even do that? I mean, Toss, sort of, not really as much. It's just, I don't know. It kind of bugs me. I'm just bitter because Terran raped me. So, yeah, this game is fun. Maybe getting a little bit too many lings. If we look at the production tab, now getting my expansion and 8 more lings. So I'm going heavy on the lings. Because I don't have that roach warren, I am relying solely on lings to defend against these hellions. And he actually has a quite brilliant little idea here. He's putting down the tech lab on his barracks, and he's going to produce 2 more hellions. He's going to swap the tech lab with the factory and then get that pre-igniter, and he's going to time it pretty well. The Hellions will be about halfway done when this tech lab finishes, but it's a very solid Zerg harassment build. It would actually be a good idea as well to maybe put down a starport and try a drop with the pre-igniter. I mean, any of that stuff is just so deadly. However, I am somewhat prepared. You can see I'm positioning my overlords in between our bases, expecting some kind of drop like that. Got my Zerglings out here. I haven't been doing this much lately, but I should put 1 or 2 Zerglings out here as well, just so, I mean, it's better to know if someone's coming right here and lose a Zergling than to wait all the way until right here to see if they're coming and not lose a Zergling. So I think my scouting has gotten a little bit sluggish lately. I do have my lair up. We are seeing a spire down as well. But if we look at the unit tab, 22 Zerglings. I really just, imagine if I only had like 6 Zerglings and I had, what would that be? Like 7 more drones or something, 8 more drones, 32 drones. My economy would be doing much better right now, but instead I've got tons of Zerglings, which aren't going to do too much against this many Hellions, especially once the pre-igniter completes. He does have this expansion going as well, so he's looking very solid right now, has a perfect build against these high number of Lings, 21 now. Looks like one of them might have gone in here, scouted, and died. And all I have is 1 spine and a half complete spire, 3/4 complete spire to deal with this. So the mutas won't be out in time. Here comes another Ling, and I'm going to be running back just because that's a lot of Hellions. And my best bet to take care of these Hellions is to get us around as they're coming up the hill, or hopefully he'll go for my expansion because it's less saturated and there's a spine, and I'll be able to deal with it that way. But looks like he's going to be going with my main. I do get him inside of the Hellions, but 1 blast and 2 blasts, and most of my Lings are gone, able to pick off 2 or 3 of those Hellions. But he's just going to kind of just run in and just have a field day, trying to spread out my drones. 4 of them going that way, 2 going up, a couple staying on the minerals, some going down. But harvester count, what was I at, around 28 or so, now down to 24. I have a feeling I was even higher than 28. More Lings popping out, trying to produce some mutas as well. 2 more mutas coming from my expansion. 4 mutas total now, but I have just suffered so much economic damage, down to 23 drones. He's got 33 SCVs. He's got his expansion up and running. Mules, he's got double geysers, and look at this. Perfect, so perfect. His play is just so flawless right now. 2 more Thors coming. And just think, I could have prevented all of this just by getting roaches, but I mean, I went for this like all in. I'm going to just go Zergling to muta build and just try to win the game. And just a simple Hellion harass. This isn't even any kind of all-in whatsoever by him. He's got that expansion. He's looking great. Even if I killed all these Hellions and they didn't touch anything, he'd still be looking great. So I have a lot of catching up to do. 21 drones now to 38 SCVs. And he's got the turrets, preparing for that. 2 on each base. Forcing him to use 400 minerals, but with mules and with Terran eco, you don't really have to worry about that. Even getting a turret at the front, I really like this. What you can often do with mutas is just kind of sit around the outskirts and snipe supply depots like there. And even right here, I can probably snipe a supply depot or 2. Just doing a little bit of scouting, running around, seeing that turret, seeing those 2 Thors. And when I saw those Thors, man, my whole attitude in this game was just like, oh my god. And spreading creep, at least I'm doing that. This is not the mutated creep. This is actually the real creep. You can tell because it's visible. Looking pretty good in the saturation department at my expansion. Not so much at my main. And Corey Scalf hates Nova's mission so fucking much. Sorry, I'm busy. I'm busy, Corey. So yeah, we're both at 2 base. He's got higher saturation. He's got nice unit compositions to deal with my mutas. If we look at the unit count, I have 6 mutas to his 3 Thors, 5 Marines, 1 tank, and 1 Hellion. And man, I should probably... there's that Roach Warren. I was just going to say I should probably get a Roach Warren to try to deal with this mech. He doesn't have any tanks. Tanks are the real Roach killer. Thors aren't so cost effective against Roaches, although I think 4 or 5 Roaches would probably lose to a Thor. It'd actually be pretty close. You have to 5 or 6 Roaches is about the equivalent of a Thor. I'd say about 6 just because gas is more valuable. I think 6 Roaches could pretty easily take down a Thor, so I would say Roaches are cost effective against Thors. And look at this, I'm spreading creep very well this game, so if there is one thing I'm doing well, it's the creep spreading. Could use a little bit in between the expansion, that's what Overlords are good for. And if we look at Drewbie's base, he's even mixing in a lot of mech units, so infantry units. He's got a couple Marauders, a lot of Marines just to help pick off those weak Mutalisks. starport going down. So still very solid play. I actually did bring my mutas over here and pick up that supply depot. Sorry I missed that. And he is just completely saturated now, 49 to 42, and I need to struggle to pump out a lot of roaches. I should have had this overlord just a little bit closer to the rocks to see this approach coming, but I do see it now. And if we look at the production here, I'm getting roach speed. And why am I not getting any roaches? Because I've supply blocked myself. Oh look, another overlord died. 92 out of 92. I can't train anything. Look at all that money. That could be 10 roaches right now. If I had 10 roaches to add to this army right here, I could actually fend this off. I'm not even kidding. I would do a pretty decent job of fending off this attack. But I'm going to have to wait and stall for a little bit. Well, actually, it looks like I'm going to push in and pick off that tank that was a little too far in front. And he's just going to kind of walk in with these giant Gundam wings. I don't even watch that show. It's just easily killing my mutas. Didn't spread them out at all. Having to send in my drones as well. These guys are just mining away like they don't even know what's going on. Killing everything but the Thors. So maybe some more Zerglings, some more roaches would have been just fine against this. And at this point, you guys can probably tell that I'm going to get just owned in this match. The reason I casted this game is just to show you how neglecting to get a simple unit like a Roach Warren early on can just be GG. I mean, effectively I lost when he came in with the Hellions. I mean, look at this. So many units just coming in. And I wanted to cast this because you guys do know that I kind of have a thing with Drewbie. And if I were to cast a game, only a game that I won, that'd be kind of lame. Like, what's the point? So I figured I'd man up, swallow my pride, and cast a game of Drewbie just completely rolling me. So I'm still up 2-1 in the series though, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, Terran mech, very hard to defeat. I hope you guys enjoyed it despite its brevity. Is that the right word? Brevity? Anyway, not too happy about this game. Okay, I'm gonna go now. See ya.